Good morning, everyone. Um, well, um, children have to make their own decisions in life, and sometimes as a grandparent or a parent, it might be something that you like that they're doing, but then something that scares you. Um, the first day of school is traumatic for parents and sometimes children. Then there's the children that'll just march off and do it. Then you have the graduation from high school, and you're proud of them for doing that. And the my one grandson, when he was in 12th grade, he got a little scared because you've been in school for 12 years, and it's like, what am I going to do now? Well, um, I've had two grandsons graduate already, and I have my third grandson that is a senior, and he'll be graduating next August. But he's made a big decision, something he wants to do, something that's traditional on his dad's side. Um, he decided he wanted to go to the Navy. Uh, so, this is only the second week of school, but 2 days this week, he decided that that's what he wanted to do. And it's just been a flurry of activity, talking to Navy recruiter, um, doing a test. Then he 2 days this week, they told him that they needed him to take off school, which is okayed by the school. It's not held against him. But he went, he did his test, physical. He had to be a big boy by himself because you don't have parents or grandparents with you when you do this. Um, and I think he enjoyed that independence, that part of learning about himself. Um, but he came home, he swore an oath. He came back. He is really tired because, well, um, the last day he had to get up at 4 something in the morning, and it was a whole day of testing. Um, Basically just physical, checking him that way, doing interviews, and finally he swore in. Uh, and he picked out a job. It might not have been the job he wanted, and it's not a for sure position, so he had to pick one. Uh, so I have a child that's, well, I still see him as a child. He's going to go in the Navy. Basically, he is already there. Um, he right now belongs to the government, but he has to finish school this year. And then next August, he will leave for basic training. So when he left the other day to go do his test, of course, I'm grandma. So after he left, he told me, I'm going to go. I love you. See you later. Well, I stayed in the kitchen, but then I got up and went out, and he was leaving. So, of course, I stand there after he's gone sobbing. It's kind of like the first day of school. But I'm proud of him. He's made a decision. Uh, it's one thing to think about him being on a ship. It's another thing to think about he could be in a submarine. I'm not crazy about that at all. Um, and now, since he's did this, well, he still has a meeting next week. And of course, he'll get this welcoming kit, I guess, t-shirt, hat, drinking water bottle, stuff like that. And of course, you do give money for, it's called delay entry. So, yeah. And of course, I've got other kids, other grandsons, or, oh, I want to do that. And now his two younger brothers, they're wanting to do that. Yeah. Kids, even my granddaughter, wanting to do that. But we're proud of him, and I'm proud of all my grandchildren. They've all made a decision in their life what they're going to do. Or they can still have time to make a decision with what they want to do the rest of their life. You know, he went to school this morning, and I asked him, I said, so how do you feel? Did you get any rest? No, I'm still tired, Grandma. And I touched him on the hand, and I said, well, you might belong to the Navy, but you're still mine. And he just laughed at me. I hope I know he'll be okay, but I hope he gets anxious a lot. So I'm hoping that he can get that part together so that when he does face them for basic training, he can withstand what they're going to put him through, because what they're putting him through is, or what they put all young men and women through. And it doesn't have to be the Navy, Army, Marines, Air Force, National Guards. They make you think, and they will get in your face, but they want you to know that it's a team effort. If you break down, it affects the whole team. And like I told the boys, well, when people went, to the Army, because on my side, boys went to the Army. My dad was in the Army. But he was also, for some reason, he's in the Army, but he also was, had something to do with boats. I don't know what that was about, but, I told him, I said, they do that kind of training mentally, preparing you. Because if you're in a jungle, if you're in the desert, there's nobody around you but your squad. And nobody is there to help you carry your equipment, because they have theirs too. And you have to learn to keep your head down. If you fail, your squad fails. So you have to be a part of that and know that. Like I told him, I said, the guys in the jungle, they didn't get to sleep all the time. They were up walking, doing stuff, tired. But when you're out in that situation, you just have to keep going. There's no time to say, well, this is night, I'm going to get in this nice soft bed, cover up, be warm, get a good night's sleep. Well, in reality, that doesn't happen. So, it's just, that's what's going on. We'll get through it. I really was hoping I could go to see him graduate from basic training, but I don't know. He was all excited because when he went, he didn't have to pay for nothing. The government paid for his, he was given a card so he could get food. I think they stayed in a hotel, and they paid for that, so that's good. And his recruiter went with him, took him to this and was with him. But he told me today when he was sitting, I guess it was in the lobby, and he said this one, or his liaison said his last name, yelled it out, the last name, and he liked that. He said nobody goes by first names, in which I guess they don't in any of the armed forces. They don't go by first name. You're known by your last name. So I knew it was coming. He's always talked about wanting to go to the Navy. So I knew it was coming. So I don't know. He was with, there was, you want to say boys. I guess the oldest was 21, and the rest, he's 17. There was some 18-year-olds there. But they were there for the Marines, National Guards, Army, Navy, if they were going to the Air Force. They all go to this one center, and they all get their physicals um, and do testing and stuff like that. So, I'm a Navy grandma. How do I feel right now? Well, I kind of feel like the first day of school or kindergarten. I can remember when he was, I don't know, he was pretty young, and there was the Head Start buses or a bus. He wanted us to chase the bus down because he wanted to ride the bus. He wanted to go to school. And so I can remember one time we did chase the bus down, but he didn't get on it. But, I told him, I said, well, you can't go to school sucking on a pacifier. And he threw it out the window. I said, well, there it goes. You can't get that back. So, yeah, And then he was telling me that it must have been other, there was, Marine recruiters there. There was all of them. And this one for the Navy, he said that I think it's a recruiter he went with. He wanted to he wanted to go to the Navy when he was 4 years old. So boy, that was pretty young to decide they wanted to do that. Weston has always talked about doing it. I don't know, since he's been, I want to say high school, but it could have been junior high too. So he's always thought about it. Like I said, it's a tradition on his dad's side. His grandfather was in the Navy. And then on my side, everybody went to the Army. My dad, my brother, and my sister. I've had uncles, I've had cousins, nephews on that side. They've all went to the Army. And then on the opposite side, everybody's went to the Navy. Except I don't think their one grandfather did. I think he was the great grandfather. I think he was in the Army. I'm not sure, but the rest of them went to the Navy. So, it's just what people pick. And how do I feel? Well, I'm happy, but I still don't want to cut that string yet. Just a grandma string. All right, talk to you later. Bye.